Hey everybody, this is my first time doing anything like this, so please bear with me. Alright, today we're posing the question, what makes an artificial lure effective? It may not seem that important to us today, but it's important. Here's your fish, here's your lure, jerking action, it's coming up, boom. Surprisingly, there are a lot of factors that go into making these little fish deceptors, so we're going to be talking about a lot today. Anything from lip size, buoyancy, action underwater, whether it's hard, soft, color pattern. There's a lot of things that go into these lures. Now, to understand how an artificial lure works, you're going to need to understand why they work. First, we're going to learn a little bit about fish chemosensis. Though it sounds like a big word, chemosensis really just means the chemical sensing system that fish use to detect their prey underwater. It's really just like a sense of smell. This is why scented lures must have a soluble substance on them, because otherwise the fish won't even be able to detect it underwater. I apologize for the change in place here. I didn't mean for it to be so abrupt. The olfactory organs in gnathostome fish are paired structures located in the ethmoidal region of the skull, root or two, with gnathostome being jawed vertebrates and the ethmoidal region located near the nasal cavity. This allows largemouth bass to rely on something other than their eyesight, due to freshwater fish not really having the best eyesight, especially the bass species. With this in mind, you can really understand why scent might be such a crucial factor when analyzing what makes an artificial lure effective. Though not all scented lures are more effective than unscented lures. Depending on possible sound, color, action underwater, these all go into playing a crucial part in what makes the lure effective. Let's break a lure down by its parts. We've got hooks, body, color, paint pattern, possibly a lip to affect action underwater. And that's really it though, depending on the type of lure being used. Some lures don't even have a hook attached to them, as in the case of a soft-bodied worm lure. You actually have to hook a J-hook through the body of it. Let's take a look at color first. Anything from vibrant colors to camouflaging colors are produced in today's artificial lure market. The right question isn't what is the best color overall, but what is the best color for your situation. A study done in 2015 by researchers in Lake Opiniakan, Eastern Ontario, looks into how color affects catch per effort unit, which is like how many fish were caught with each cast. These researching anglers used 6 identical plastic worms, all with different colors, while using the same octopus hook, and fished each worm for 20 minutes. With colors like black, blue, red, wasp, orange, and white, each soft plastic worm was given a chance to catch as many fish as they can in the allotted 20 minutes. After the research was completed, the scientists concluded that there wasn't much of a difference between catch per color. There was a small difference with the length of fish caught while using brighter colors, Moraga 3. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't want a small difference in the amount of fish that I caught. I want conclusive evidence. Hear me out. These are small factors that build upon the overall design of what makes the lure effective. These are very important. Depending on the environment, visibility in the water, and weather will play a large role in visually attracting the fish. Even when fishing for other species of fish, such as the crappie, a lighter sport fish where lighter tackle is used, anglers swear by the color of jig that they use. Salter Charles too. Looking at specific color patterns, there's not much research that suggests that makes any difference. It's mostly the bold colors like bright, dark, really, in-your-face colors that would make a difference. Now, of course, every angler has a preference in color, just as my interview suggests. This particular angler I interviewed has been a freshwater fisherman for over 15 years now. Now, when asked the question about color preference on a lure, he answered, quote, "If there is a lot of light and high visibility, I will choose natural and more subdued colors as opposed to bright colors in low visibility settings." Though color patterns are prevalent in many modern-day hard-bodied lures, studies have shown that specific color pattern does not make a noticeable difference on length and number of fish caught, while GR4. Now, moving on to different aspects of the lure, we have to look at the design of them. Mostly the shape of the body, as we see that worms have soft, tube-like bodies, and crankbaits have a streamlined body either made of wood or hard plastic. For largemouth bass, you're going to have to know a little bit about the water that you're fishing in, how deep it is, the visibility, maybe obstacles that could affect the action of the lure. As you can see here, this classic crankbait with 2 treble hooks attached to the bottom can really increase your chances of a hook onset for a fish, or CGA 3. The hydrodynamic design of the body and large lip pulls it underwater and mimics the action of an injured fish. This action is enticing to a hungry bass looking for an easy meal. The shape of the body and the size of the lip for these hard-bodied lures determines the action underwater and how it might attract a fish. When looking at soft lures, tubular worms are easily jigged in a slow motion, and they simply glide through the water with their streamlined bodies in an attempt to attract a bass with various colors. Though treble hooks can increase your chances of an onset hook, they tend to snag a lot more weeds and possible obstacles. With hard-bodied lures such as crankbaits, there are sometimes small lead pellets that are added to the body so they rattle and make noise. This sound can attract fish around the area that would otherwise not be able to see the lure. With a design like crankbaits in mind, this brings us to our next topic, hook types. As I've said before, there are mainly two hook types that are implemented on the common bass lure. Those are the treble hooks and your classic J hook. When compiling my research, I noticed an overwhelming amount of studies done on hook related injuries on fish, so I decided I'd incorporate that into this discussion. Really, it looks like there's not many differences between the J hook and the treble hook as far as hook related injuries go. Matlock GC 6. When incorporating scent on the lure, hooking injury was negligible between scented and unscented lures. Dunmall KM 34. This suggests that hook type and scented lures don't necessarily injure the fish more. Yet, treble hooks are recognized as giving you the upper hand in an onset for a hook rather than a J hook. When asked the question, what hook type do you prefer? My source answered with, quote, I use treble hooks, which are three-pronged hooks, on hard baits as they tend to give a greater chance at a hook set. This backs my claim and the researcher's claim overall. As for hook types, though treble hooks allow for a higher chance of hook onset, you can encounter a lot more obstacles. While J hooks in soft-bodied worms may come loose in a bass's mouth, you won't run into many obstacles. Now we have visited color, color pattern, design of body, hook type, action underwater, and how all of these affect how fish are caught. At this point, we can collectively understand that a situational use of lures is more practical than a best overall lure. As the industry advances, new technologies are implemented into lures every day, such as the helicopter lure. Quote, it's a plastic worm, buzzbait, spinnerbait, and deep water jig all in one, exclaims the ad from a past boating magazine. Rudwoy Lenny 101. Ads like this are usually discarded by the average angler, yet they exhibit our desire to progress in the artificial lure market. Things like light are even being installed into lures nowadays. They are used to attract fish in dark and murky waters. This allows the lure to be seen in conditions that a normal lure would not be seen in. The lure is a, quote, variable light fishing lure comprised of a plastic housing with an internal cavity for holding a submergible lighted element. McGonigal Patrick 4. Even weedless lures are being implemented in the English tackle box today. Quote, with its unique patented retracting twin hook design, the slick fish hooks remain completely retracted in the body of the lure until a fish strikes it. PR Newswire 1. This revolutionizes the way anglers can navigate heavily weeded areas. The artificial lure market advances day by day, with more crazy designs today than there'll ever be, and tomorrow, even more. Fishing has been a staple for humans for thousands of years, though artificial lure use is relatively new within the last couple hundred years. So today we learned that there really isn't an overall best lure, but really a best lure for each situation. The environment, weather, visibility in the water, things like that. The purpose of this research topic was to introduce a new topic and hopefully teach you something that you didn't know before. Thanks for taking your time in your day to watch this, and have a great day.